The industrial motor market is a very mature market, so things don't change dramatically based on things like technology. These are long-term changes. The main driver is really trends in the industry, and obviously over the last few years the commodity price collapse has really had a big impact on the motors and associated market. So oil prices are slowly recovering, but are still significantly lower than just a few years ago. The metal and mining industry is severely dogged by overcapacity, particularly in China, and this has led to a lot of consolidation in the market as well. So all in these have provided some challenges that have really led to rather subdued growth. For example, in Europe, the market is forecast to actually contract again in 2017 before returning to slight growth. And really the market is only seeing slow growth throughout. A couple of areas where there is some more positive light, areas like Eastern Europe, Middle East and Africa, certainly Turkey. It is a region where we're seeing additional investment, where the market is outperforming the rest of Europe and the world. I think some of the other developments we're seeing, that there is this ongoing trend to more efficient motors. This is certainly a slow trend. Companies are releasing higher efficiency motors. But a lot of the trend in the actual market is just shifting from type IE1 to IE2 market. And we estimate the IE1 market last year accounted for about 40% of all motors shipped. And we expect that to transition. So by next year, we expect that number actually to have reduced by 27%, by 2021. So motor manufacturers are certainly starting to look at how they can introduce technologies that take advantage of IoT. So we're seeing more introduction of sensors on motors, in particular to measure things like temperature, to measure vibration, and in some cases also current. So this is certainly increasing the embedding of sensing technology. We're also seeing a growth and a desire to provide connectivity to these motors as well. And so we estimate that just under 5% of motors shipped last year were enabled with connectivity. That means data could be transferred from the motor, information from the motor upstream for things like analytics. Now, certainly with the inclusion of connectivity and sensing, this is opening the door for motor manufacturers to address new revenue streams and introduce new business models. They're now looking at solutions that can extend customers a lifetime of the motor, reduce downtime, and also improve the energy efficiency of these motors as well. And this is all by providing analytics of the data that they're getting from these motors and processing this data and using this to feed back to the customer new services. So whilst the motor manufacturers are introducing these analytic solutions, and at the moment it's for condition monitoring, so to assess the health of an asset at a particular time, really the next stages are an evolution of how this data is analysed and processed. So we're looking at predictive maintenance, which takes condition monitoring a step further and really identifying not just when an asset is reaching a point where it may be performing less well or about to fail, but now it's able to actually predict when is this asset going to fail. And the next step beyond this is really prescriptive maintenance. And this is not just providing the what in terms of what asset is going to fail, or the when in terms of when it will fail, but also addresses things like the how and the why. So understanding why a particular product is failing, understanding how an operator can be empowered to resolve the situation. So some of the ways this may play out is through introduction of AI to support things like semantic searching, where an asset may fail and the artificial intelligence solution can then go away and semantically search for repair manuals for that particular part that has failed, or identify where the nearest supplier is for a particular failed part to enable for a quick turnaround in terms of a spare part being delivered. Another element of this could be if a customer has a particular deadline and they need to make sure they hit the delivery of a certain number of products, maybe they can reduce the burden on the machine, lighten the load on the machine to extend the life of the machine, thereby hitting the delivery time before then taking the machine down for repair. So there's lots of different ways that artificial intelligence in the future is going to play in services that can be provided to support the customer. And this is becoming very important in the industry, particularly as the industry is facing challenges around retiring workforce. So for example, in the oil and gas industry, it's estimated about half of workers are going to be eligible for retirement in the next few years. Now, providing things like remote monitoring, remote maintenance services, having centralized expertise that is able to interact with the operator on the field and provide them with guidance and training is going to provide an invaluable resource in the future.